I am going to go through this website on the assumption that this is a commercial website. I want to talk a little about what this implies and what this requires. A commercial website has only one task, and that task is simple to describe: to generate net income. You want to have more money coming in from the website than you have money going out to put the website up and to promote the website. So if you have any other goal besides generating net income from the website, then I strongly suggest that you not design the website at all. Don't put it up. You must have one goal, and that is to generate net income. If your goal is to feel good about yourself, design another kind of website, a diary website or a come visit me and find out about me website. Don't make it a commercial website unless you are a celebrity. I'm going to analyze this website from the point of view that it has only one purpose: to generate net income. Let's go through the basics of the site. You have to decide how a visitor will discover the site. These days, it is probably by means of a web search. So if you want the individual to find your site, you have to pay attention to the URL, which is up here. In other words, the address of the site. And you have to pay attention to the basic page design so that whatever is in the URL is reinforced in the page design. Now, what should be in the URL? This particular site is to support a daycare that teaches Spanish to children. That's a unique selling proposition. It should be focused on almost entirely, as far as the website is concerned, to stress this unique selling proposition that if you send your children to this daycare, your child will be bilingual by the time the child goes into a regular school system. That is, if you send the child early enough, and the parent has to know how early this is. So the first thing you design is this: you've got to have a URL for this site. What will people search for? And where will they search? That's what you have to ask. It is a local site for a local company selling to local people. So my presumption is the target audience is a woman or a group of women, but think of it as one woman with a child who is eligible to be sent to this daycare. She is in a particular zip code area or a particular region of town or state. She's going to be searching for a daycare in the town and state where she lives. So when she goes on Google or Bing and she types in daycare, she's going to type in the city where she lives. Probably won't type in the state, but she might. It would be wise if she did. The URL should have something like this: daycare, the name of your city, and the zip code summary of your state. So if you live in California, it's CA. If you live in Texas, it's TX. So it's the service, which is a daycare, the city, and the state's zip code summary. Somewhere, and in fact probably in several places on the site, there should be references to the fact that it is a daycare, it is in a particular town, and the words daycare should be found in a couple of places, and it would be nice if the name of the town were found in a couple of places. Why is that? Because Google will search to see where this search is supposed to be located. If the woman types in daycare in a particular town, Google will look for a daycare in that town. It will look at the site, and it will also look at the URL. In other words, the address of the site. That's where you start. You must decide what search terms are most likely to be used by a potential customer in searching for a service that you supply. That's the key. Make certain that the Google search categories that the parent is likely to use will be found both in the site and the URL. Next rule, you have 5 seconds or fewer to persuade a visitor to stay on the site and investigate what is being offered for sale. 5 seconds. Not 10, not 15, 5. 3 would be much better. So the parent has to decide really fast, is it worth visiting this site? Is it worth staying on this site? Is this the right place? What does the visitor see at the very top? Home. And the visitor thinks, I don't care. About, I don't care. Schedule and tuition, I don't care yet. 2s and 3s full. Too bad my kid is 2 or 3. I don't care. Half day. For what ages? And besides, I want a full day. Or maybe I don't. But I've got to know half day for what ages. Summer immersion photos. That means that this category is useless 9 months out of the year. It's useless in spring, it's useless in fall, and it's useless in winter. So you've got a category that is useful only for 25% of the school year. Get rid of it. Videos. Fine. Videos of what? About me. I don't care. Contact me. I don't care. Summer immersion camp. I don't care right now. None of this should be at the top of the page. What about the masthead? What do we have here? We have a photo of young children, interracial, and they're wearing a red t-shirt. I can't read the t-shirt, but that's neither here nor there. Nevertheless, it's not real clear, and so it's not advertising the program very well. There are children at the program. That's okay. I would make the picture somewhat smaller. I would make it fit the masthead, and I would put it where it is on the right. There's nothing wrong with the picture as long as the parents have given written permission for you to post the picture, but it's not what is going to sell the program. Over here you have a cartoon. It is a Spanish lady. She has a fan. There's nothing wrong with a Spanish lady with a fan, except in the United States, nobody really wants Spanish taught by a Spanish lady with a fan. The parent wants something connected with Latin America. And this appears to be Spanish. Now, it may also be Latin America. In any case, it's a cartoon. And you know what a cartoon says? Cute. Cute. I don't spend money on cute. Now, maybe there are mothers who do. I don't spend money on cute. I spend money on my kid. What is my kid going to get out of this? I don't want my kid to be dressed up like a Spanish lady with a fan, so what's the point? Then it says, La Escuelita de Sofia. Now, if I speak Spanish, which I happen to do, I would know that means Sophia's little school. But that's irrelevant for somebody who does not speak Spanish, but who would like her children to learn how to speak Spanish. But she doesn't speak Spanish. So that's the name of the school. But the parent doesn't know anything about the school or the daycare. And so the parent's response is, what is this? I don't know what this is. Or what you don't want, I don't care. So what should be here? Here should be this. Spanish immersion for children. More specifically, it should say daycare program with immersion in the Spanish language. Or daycare program that teaches your children how to speak Spanish. Some people may not know what immersion is, okay, or they may get the wrong idea. Maybe they know, maybe they don't. Never put a word up where people aren't really sure what that is. What you want is a promise. So maybe right here it says something about the daycare which teaches Spanish, and then right here is a promise. Enroll your child for 3 years and your child will speak Spanish at the end of the program. That's a strong promise. Can you make the promise? Make the strongest promise that you can make. And then you've got to prove it. Somewhere on the site, you've got to prove it. Do you want videos? Only one thing the video ought to be promoting: a little child who speaks Spanish, preferably this child or this Asian child, okay? Black child, Asian child, maybe the blonde here. Don't make it look like a Latin American child. That's not going to convince anybody. But what you want is children who are speaking Spanish without any real problem inside the daycare. That would be a good video. And I might even recommend putting the video right here with a big play sign. And so the parent clicks that, and the parent gets 3 minutes of non-Latin American kids who are joyfully and happily speaking Spanish, preferably to each other. Now that would be a sales device. That's what should be here if you've got that. And you should have that if that's what you're selling. Now let's continue. It says home. Okay, look at this. This is really tiny print, and it's spread all over the page. Now we get to a killer. You see what this is? This is a bar at the bottom of the screen, which is necessary, and it's inserted automatically when the screen is too wide, and so you have to go back and forth to read the material. That's a killer. People won't do it. They're not going to read this. It's small. It should be in 2 parts. Now the testimonial is okay. That's about the right width. And it's larger print. And the testimonial here is okay. So what you want here, whatever it is you're selling, an explanation of what it is, have it in this size and have it divided. Instead of 2 halves, probably it should be stacked one on top of the other. This should be your explanation of the benefits of whatever it is that the program is offering. Now, where should the testimonial be? Let me move the scroll bar. The testimonials should be stacked up here on the left-hand side. Testimonials are great. I'm very favorable towards testimonials. I am not favorable for testimonials where there is only a first name, or even a first name and a last name, period. Because Larry could be the brother-in-law of the person who runs the site, and Monica could be the sister-in-law of the person who runs the site and who owns the daycare. So it should be Larry Jones and Monica French, or whatever her name is, and the testimonial should be on the left-hand side and quite visible. I like testimonials, but they've got to be believable testimonials. Now here are some links to third-party descriptions of the program. Nothing wrong with those. They too should be here on the testimonial side. They can be either at the top of the list of the testimonials, if that's what you want, or the bottom. I would recommend the bottom, but I suppose that could be tested. I don't think it's going to make a whole lot of difference, but I tend to think it's better to start with parents of a child who has gone through the program. I think that persuades more mothers that this is a good deal, but it's good to have the links on the left-hand side, not in the middle. Now you have pictures. What has this got to do with Spanish? The main benefit? Nothing. It's just a kid playing with some coloring or a paper with some dots on a page. Fine. Nice little kid. There's some toys. There's a room. Standard daycare. It has nothing to do with the unique selling proposition of the website. Same thing here. Little girl, she's having a snack. Okay? So it's a standard daycare. Standard daycare. Standard daycare. Standard daycare. Standard daycare. What's the unique selling proposition? Now, if each one of these was a YouTube video of a kid speaking Spanish, that would be dynamite. But pictures that are not related to the unique selling proposition of the program don't provide any meaningful information, because this could be posted by any daycare in town. Nothing unique about this. Here is where YouTube videos would be really powerful sales tools, sales devices. I think this is as much as you need to know. If you have in the program these contact me and so forth, my opinion is they should be where they are at the bottom. And that's fine. Put them at the bottom. Sell the mother or the web searcher on the tremendous value of the program, and then after the parent is sold, then you want to have your section at the bottom on how to contact somebody at the site. I would put every year a copyright by somebody or other, and a year to let people know. There should probably also be, for legal reasons, a terms of use option and a privacy policy option. You can take that from anybody's site on the web who has a commercial site. I would always have that to satisfy the regulators. Now, if this is regulated by somebody, and it probably is, you could put that somewhere on the page saying regulated by such and such an organization. So the parent knows that this is a commercial enterprise. It's a normal commercial enterprise. Somebody is paying attention to it. Some government agency is supervising it. I don't trust government agencies, but some parents do, so you might as well have some advertisement. You got to submit to them anyway, so you might as well try to generate some money out of them. That's my philosophy. Get some benefits in response. I would have some kind of an offer, and the offer would have to do with helping your child. It would be up here, and the offer would involve the person signing up to receive a report, a special report on something that is useful to mothers to help their children. That way you get the person on the mailing list. And I think that's important. If you're going to bring somebody to the site, get the person on a mailing list. Either run the mailing list yourself, or you use aweber.com to set up the mailing list and send out a weekly report. It reminds the parent that you're offering a high-quality service, and it's a benefit to the parent. So I would offer a tip of the week to get the parent signed up, which will remind the parent every week, oh yes, that's right, there's this program available, and it teaches the kids Spanish. In any case, I would at least have one contact, one special report, and it should probably be on why young children can learn a foreign language and you can't. Which, by the way, is true. Kids do learn foreign languages much easier. And that'd be a good report to have for somebody. You want to get the person on your mailing list. This is a basic analysis of the site based on commercial principles, which I think, if applied effectively, will generate net income from this site. In the present form, I would be surprised if this site is capable of producing much net income. And as long as you're going to the trouble of putting the site up, I think it is a real good idea to design the site so that it will produce net income.